I'm saying that any politician that comes to you and says, I'm going to do only one term, that's a sign of desperation. It will not work. Just like all these gambits about serving food, carrying plates, and doing boy at parties that could be better organized by event organizers, it's also a sign of desperation. It doesn't work. It will never work. And then the second challenge, of course, is that you say the North will buy into this idea of one term. No, the North will not. Because the civil war in this country has never ended. I don't believe that Northerners who are already aggrieved with a Yoruba president will just shift and embrace the possibility of an Igbo president. There are contradictions in this country that have not been sorted out. We should lay the emphasis on competence, ability. If the Nigerian people are politically educated to a point where they can vote for a competent person, regardless of where it comes from, regardless of his religion, that's when this country will begin to move forward. So all this, I will do one time, I will serve you food, I will give you agbado. No, please. That's not going to work, in my own opinion. I don't know whether you disagree.
Well, I mean, competence, integrity, and all of that, very important for the next president of Nigeria, whether it's President Bola Tinubu as he wants to continue, or it's for someone else that will be voted, or whether an Atiku Abubakar or Rotimi Amici and all of that. Yes, you've said it. Nigeria has not really recovered from the civil war and the politics of that period and all of that. But should we continue? That's what people are saying, and that's why it's time for statesmen to actually rise up. And why is a component part of the federation still being neglected? That's also on the conversation. When we started this country, independence-wise in 1960, it was started on a tripod. Democratically, the other two components of the tripod have ruled the country. So the debate will continue. Why is the third leg of the tripod being left behind? Eventually, we had a fourth tripod, which was the region that was carved out, the Midwest region that was carved out from the then old Eastern region. And the debate has been ongoing. Why not have someone from there? Well, we eventually had someone from the South-South, which happened to be former President Goodluck Jonathan. But then, how long can we continue to isolate one of the tripod that we started this country with in 1960? That is what statesmen, people who are thinking into the future, are saying. And that's why, if you look at politics, the geopolitics of Nigeria at the moment, the best chance that the Southeast has right now seems to be coming with someone like a Peter Obi. And then you see that if Peter Obi doesn't get it this time around, I wonder when next it could be, because he just looks like a semblance. Why not pitching for him? Look at President Bola Tinubu too. You have said it very clearly. Nobody gives you the presidency on a platter. And so Peter Obi has to do more than just offering this proposition. You will see how Tinubu supported several people. Supported Atiku Abubakar, supported Nuhu Ribadu, and eventually supported Buhari before getting it. How many people has Peter Obi supported to get to the presidency than before coming? The only time he got the opportunity was in 2019 with Atiku Abubakar, but in 2022, 2023, he broke out. When people are saying that he should have supported Atiku Abubakar and it would have been an easiest ascendancy. Well, there are others who are now saying that the best way the Southeast can get to the presidency, I mean, from another thinking, is for Peter Obi to be Atiku Abubakar's vice presidential candidate, and by 2031, Atiku Abubakar will not hand over to him. That's the surest way. And I think Peter Obi and others too should consider this. Well, because no one gives you the Nigerian presidency on the platter of gold. But Nigerians need to consider the Eastern region. That's the only pitch that I find very considerate. And of course, the issues of competence can come in there.
Okay, I get that principled position. After all, Payo Adebanjo pushed that position. But President Tinubu is saying he's the one representing the South now. If Buhari did 8 years, the South is also entitled to 8 years. And that's where the argument is. And that's why Gbajabiamila is talking to his colleagues, and they are saying that the Southwest will hold this position for another 4 years. Do you think it is possible in Nigerian politics for anybody who becomes president from any zone to promise, oh, I will serve only one term, and people will believe that person. Because these positions are not held only by persons. They are also held by ethnic groups, geographical zones, and all of that. And all of them will come and say, no, this is our turn. And if Mr. Peter Obi becomes president of Nigeria, you think Igbos will agree with him to say, oh, I want to do only one term, when the last time they held the #1 position was since the time of Aguiyi Ironsi.
Very interesting proposition by Mr. Peter Obi there. And then, of course, your question is very, very apt. There's always been this mutual distrust between Nigeria's ethnic groups, especially when it comes to the presidency. But like you have said, if he does come to power, it will be a different ballgame. But don't forget that your former boss, former President Goodluck Jonathan, then as president of Nigeria in 2010, 2011, had proposed a single term of 6 years. Having seen how the presidency is being used like a football to be kicked around the 6 geopolitical zones, he has said that, look, if we want this country to move better and for us to achieve this rotational presidency, I think one term of 6 years will be better. And so that's the context from which I'm saying this proposition by the former Labour Party presidential candidate in 2023. And he's putting his integrity at stake. And, you know, it's like advertising. Peter Obi is pitching to the north and pitching to the rest of the country. But what I want to say is that Nigerians should critically take a look at it. They should give it a huge consideration, considering the challenges that we have right now. The Southwest itself, from which President Tinubu comes from, has enjoyed this Fourth Republic more than other component parts of the country. And I think Peter Obi was trying to direct that to other parts of Nigeria to take a critical look at it, because Obasanjo did 8 years. We've had Tinubu now completing one term, which will now make it 12 years by 2027. So if Peter Obi is able to, you know, put his integrity more at stake and reach out to the right stakeholders, he could actually pitch this in a better position that will make it look like the Southeast can conclude that 4 years that's left for southern Nigeria and that he stands a chance. People should hold him by his integrity. Yes, of course, he actually did well in the last presidential election and his integrity is at stake. But the major problem that I have with him is not this pitching that he has brought in place. It's for the fact that he's confusing his followers, his supporters at the moment, because they don't know whether he's in ADC or he's still in Labour Party. And so that in itself, that he does not have a strong political vehicle that they can count on right now, is counting against him compared to this pitch. But this pitch that he has brought is a very, very perfect pitch. It aligns with what then President Goodluck Jonathan has said. And I think rational Nigerians who think politically and want the sustenance of this country should actually consider it, and they can hold the Southeast and Mr. Peter Obi to this one-term proposal. It's a very good proposal, conclude the 4-year of the South. But of course, then you have the biggest elephant in the house, President Bola Tinubu. Can he, if given the opportunity by ADC, for example, defeat a Bola Tinubu who is an incumbent, who has all the appurtenances of power, the coercive apparatus of state to wriggle his way into 2027.
Okay.
Well, it's left for us to see.
Except that nobody sells ice cream in politics. Bola Tinubu is not going to give ice cream to another person because he wants to be seen as nice. That's not the arena for politics.
Dr Abati, the media archie, an hungry media archie. Prove that fools also grow old. Abati, do your work and shut up your mouth. Those of una when of you win on a polling unit, when one use Peter Obi and I'll Google Q now. Dr Abati Abati, do your work and shut up your gutters. I went through your profile, see your children there abroad. Now why you dey feed the talk? Your wife yellow, now so her skin dey shave. Never said they follow us by only 28,000. Your prick for not the feed the rice for that rice. Ruben Abati, do your work and shut up your mouth. Leave Peter B alone. Bayo and Nanuga, go and take care of your sick son. Person say one do one time, all of una one time. Una broke us flat for grant. Peter B here, Peter B there. Are you people now seeing the state of the country? Are you people now seeing the state of the country that you have decided to use Peter B as your top pick? You all are shameless and jobless. You all are proofs that fools grow old too. Tinubu, hold your dogs. Send your dogs, your backing. Now sitting there, come outside. This week, as soon as they serve them, that's what we go dish give you. Useless people. Our generations face this country. And now we are trying to fix it. You people are trying to sabotage our... I'll Google for me. This